The solution to this example, firstly let's get it into PowerQuery. So this is already a table. Click on data from table or range. Now don't forget everything else you've learned. Here we've got our data, but we've got what seems to be a header row here. So the first thing we're going to do is just tell it to use the first row as headers. So once we have that, we've got that, you'll see we've got some columns we don't really need, but let's just leave them there for now. Let's now work on the first one, the invoice date. So you'll see here this day, month, year. It's identified it as any type. So I think we're just going to change these, that we know it's a number, and we'll just make it whole numbers. Let's make that whole numbers. And let's make that whole numbers. You probably don't need this step, but it is quite useful to have it in. What we're now going to do is create a new column. So we're going to go to add column. I'm going to create a custom column. I'm going to call it invoice date. And we're going to use our formula hash date to combine these together. So I'm going to type in your hash date, open brackets. Now remember the syntax for this is year, month, day. So we first got to point where the year is. I'm going to put a comma where the month is. I'm going to put a comma where the day is. And close it. Keep in mind it's very important you have hash date exactly like this. Let's check if it works. I'm going to say OK. You'll see it's told me it's an invoice date. Formatted still as any. I'm just going to click on that and say rather be a date. Now it's a date, and let's just see if it makes sense. So the 7th of January 2012, 7th of January 2012. Let's look for a big number, 23rd of January 2012, 23rd of January 2012. So what we've now got is we've taken these three and converted it into a valid date. And just to put it next to its source data, it's a little bit easier to see. Now let's get the delivery date correct. Let's try our luck and just see, maybe we can just force it to be a date. So let's go to home, make it a date. You'll see some it gets, some it doesn't, so that's quite dangerous. So let's remove that so we can see it's in its raw form. There's a couple of things we can do. We could replace the full stops with a backslash. In this case, what I'm going to do, I'm rather going to split it. So I'm going to take these, I'm going to say split this column by delimiter. And as you'll see, it's guessed it's the full stop, which I agree with. That looks about right. At each occurrence, that's fine. When I say OK, you'll see it's now split it. It's given us what looks like the day, the month, and the year. Now I'm going to just change these just to make it a bit easier. And I'm going to call it day delivery month delivery year delivery, just so it's easy to know what I'm looking at. And I'm going to add a column, create a custom column, and this will be called delivery date. And again, I'm going to use the function hash date, open brackets, and I know it must go year, comma, month, comma, day, close it, say OK. We've now got the correct delivery date. Let's just force it to be a date. And now it seems to have worked. Keep in mind you don't need to have these anymore. You can delete them and just be left with the correctly formatted invoice date and delivery date, and now you can do calculations based on that.